bro, because that butt shot don't make no sense. Stop looking so mad.
They sound alike.
What you doing? All right, man. Love you. Love you.
Travis is
All right.
funny.
It's blooming.
Hey, is this thing on?
Welcome back to Are We Recording? My name is Gage Sutton, 007 here with the young Rottweiler Ethan Hamilton. And today we've got another NBA video for y'all. And today we're joined by our producer and director Xavier and Jaysen. We got.
Hold on. When did we agree to give X all those titles? Like, I just
Hey, I'll take him. Yeah, I'll take him.
Hold on, we got JJJ Breezy, Jason Collins, and we got. Oh, hold on. This is the one I've been waiting for. We've got Jalen, aka Chris Olave. We got our resident Houston Rockets fan, Dev Glass, joining us.
The man with the only challenger in San Marcos, man.
Yeah, it's here.
And now joined by Travis. We're gonna just chop it up and talk some NBA, and we brought a pretty cool topic to the table for today's episode. We're gonna talk about failed wonder kids, or players that we thought were supposed to be great, ended up not being all that. So Ethan, you were kind of the one who, pitched this idea. Want to start it off?
Yeah, of course. Like, the best way for those who are watching who might not know what a wonder kid is, right? A wonder kid is necessarily a term that's used usually with like soccer players when describing like a player with like very high potential who was really, really good when they were younger, but that they peaked early. That's the best way I can describe it. So it's a little different than like saying like a player is like a bust in NBA terms. You know what I'm saying? Because in soccer they don't really have the draft, so they're not really given those high expectations based on the draft. You know what I'm saying? Compared to American sports. But I thought it'd be a cool way to like remix it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure we've all seen hundreds and thousands of top 10 NBA draft busts ever. So I thought it'd be a cool way to, switch it up a bit.
Yeah, and I think it'll spark some interesting conversations about these players and what their legacies will ultimately be. So, Ethan, you want to get it started, man? Who did you bring to the table?
All right, so the way this is going to work is that everyone that you guys see here on the screen right now, right, beforehand in our high-level, top-secret pre-production meeting, I asked everyone to bring at least one name to the table, right, that either is a failed wonder kid or could be perceived as a failed wonder kid. And a lot of these players, they don't necessarily have to be draft busts, but they could be just okay players in their own right. You know what I mean? Just not like Hall of Fame players or game-changing players that we all thought they would be. So I guess the first name that I thought is a great way to start out with, who I think is the best, like, who had probably one of my favorite rookie campaigns ever, who I think is the biggest, like, what-if, like, wonder kid, for me, it's Michael Carter-Williams. I think
triple-double in his debut, like, that's crazy.
Dog, Michael Carter-Williams was the truth. I mean, like, I don't know, like, a lot of us think now, like, if you would have asked us, like, 6-7 years ago, like, who would be the franchise guy for the Sixers, none of us would have said it, Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all would have said Michael Carter-Williams, like, he would have been, like, the top 3, top 4 point guard, because he could do everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't think necessarily it was his fault that he didn't succeed, like, because of injuries, I thought, like, and stuff like that. I just think a lot of it had to do with just, like, the circumstances. Like, I don't think Philly was ready for him and what he brought to the table.
Philly was picking at the top of the draft like every year. They had Nerlens Noel, they got Embiid. Like at some point they became too, like, I don't know what the word would be, like, just too reliant on too many young pieces all at once who they weren't really sure who the core piece was going to be. So I kind of see how Michael Carter-Williams fell into that trap of, triple-double in his first game to not being really a piece on any team right now. Is he on an NBA roster right now?
He's on the Magic, I think.
For the Magic, but he didn't adapt. Like, he didn't learn how to shoot either, so he didn't help himself. Like,
I don't know if I'm wrong. I thought he was pretty solid this year on the Magic. He contributed in stints. I mean, I'm pretty sure didn't the Sixers draft Jahlil Okafor as well?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Jaleel Okafor too. Yep.
Yeah, his career was doomed from the start, good, but it ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he's in the league 20 years too early, man, or 20 years too late.
In the 90s, he would have been tough.
Hey, I think that goes for both him and Michael Carter Williams, because Gage is right. Like, it sucked that he came into the league like at the turn of where
Stephen Curry took over with the 3-point, man.
Like,
it was just too late.
like
I think like it's easier to become a serviceable shooter though. Like he could have worked on that and became a better shooter because he had everything else.
You know, one thing that I've started, I've kind of noticed watching from over the years is it takes a while for players to develop a jump shot if they haven't already come into the league with like a very consistent one. Like it took Kawhi a couple years to really become the shooter that he is today. And Lonzo. I mean, we even look at Brook Lopez, who started his career as like a back to the bucket center, and playing in the post. Now he can shoot threes with the best of them, with the big men. So it really is just like putting in that work and trying to get better at it. So maybe Michael Carter Williams could have a more important role on a bigger team, but as of right now, he's on one of the worst teams in basketball, and
he's mid.
He's very
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. He came to my Rockets. I thought he was gonna be the piece that took us over the top. I was wrong. Hey, man.
What year was he drafted in?
2013, almost 10 years ago.
I'm about to say,
we're getting
old. He wasn't drafted. What's it called? Before or after Embiid? I know.
No, he came like a year or 2 years before Embiid.
Yeah. So
no, but just to put in perspective, like how good he was, bro. Like his first 3 years in the league, he averaged basically 17, 15, and another 15 points per game. Like those were. If you would have told us that your rookie that you drafted did that, we'd all be ecstatic. Like if we told X that Patrick Williams was going to do that for his first 3 years, X would be jumping for joy right now.
We don't got to do that, man. First off, also with the Michael Carter Williams stuff, we picked him up in 2016, and I had the same reaction. I was like, hey, we're going to revitalize my boy. He's going to take us. Like, we're going to be able to rely on him. And what did he do?
I don't understand how he fell off that bad. Because he's 6'7", he can rebound, he can pass,
he can get to the rim.
I don't know how you fall off that bad.
His jumper isn't that bad. He has a jumper.
No. Hold on.
He has a jumper.
I think
injuries might have killed him, like for real. Because there's no way you're not supposed to at least average 10, 5, and 5.
Yeah, but look at his jumper wasn't really like that. Like if you look at it, only 1 point in his career did he shoot more than 3 threes a game, and that was his rookie year.
He was never a shooter.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like for today's NBA, for your starting point guard, he has to be to a certain extent. He only shot over 30% one time in his career, and that was when he in 2018, I believe, where he shot 2018, 2019, he shot 37%. Like that's elite. Every other year he shot under 28%.
He played 12 games.
Wasn't that the year he was with the Rockets? I'm pretty sure. I'm telling you, the preseason game.
Hey, Jaysen, how many games he played?
He played 28 games that year.
Oh, see, then I rest my case. Like he couldn't shoot. Shoot.
This preseason game, bro, he was lighting it up. I'm like, bro, he is taking us over the top, man. This is what we needed. Balls. He was a waste of time.
Hey, same here, man. I had to watch him in campaign. You know how nasty it was to watch him in campaign? Dog, the amount of missed layups and jumpers, I was like 15. I was 15.
Campaign belonged in Europe before that Suns stint.
Facts.
Not even Europe. No one should have picked him up.
About to say not even Europe, bro. He was bad.
He should have been delivering my packages.
He should have been playing in the Hebrew League.
What is that supposed to mean?
All right, let's move on to our next player. Just to put in perspective, like the audience, Michael Carter Williams would be an example. So I'm trying to decide which way we should go. I think we should do. We can do X first. X. We'll go from X down to Gage.
All right. Are we gonna do it in rounds of one? Like I just go with one right now?
Yeah.
All right, great. I hate to do it, man, but we talked about it earlier. I'm gonna save my big reveal for later on. But we're gonna talk about Lonzo Ball, man. Like Y'all remember him? He was at UCLA, and they were like, "Oh, he's Steph Curry with a 45-inch vert," which is an exact quote from his scouting profile. And now what? We're not even sure if he's gonna be able to play for us next year because his knee is like trash.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like how Lonzo, how his career ended up going, because all of that drama with him going to the Lakers. I know he was the second pick, correct? I know that they were talking about taking
over Jayson Tatum, man.
No.
Yeah,
it was
Tatum was the third pick, right?
Yeah,
Tatum was the third pick.
pick.
Hey, but let's not all lie. For the most part, like 70% of us would have picked Lonzo Ball.
Yes.
If we were the Lakers.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I would have. The hype was insane, dude. The hype was insane.
Bro.
I mean,
I
not
was
even the
a
hype.
truther.
The eye test. He was hooping.
He was good.
Hey, what screwed us over was that stupid YouTube series they had where they followed him and his family, like a reality TV show. That's what screwed me up, man.
All in the Family, man. That used to be a good show.
Elite television, man.
Watching LeVar lose his stuff because you missed a layup in the game, and you're just like, dog, I'm 12. Like that was the funniest thing on the planet. Man.
He's not even better than his brother, man. He's not better than his brother.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think LaMelo is on the path of becoming what we thought Lonzo was gonna be, because LaMelo has been very good so far, and I think we expected that same impact from Lonzo. But again, another thing that we could kind of, I guess, contribute to his situation too. He got traded out of LA when LeBron got there after 1 year of playing with him. So I feel like, things just haven't been great for him injury wise too. Not to make excuses, but
yeah, because honestly, I could see where the debate come in. Like, did he really like fail to be like a great NBA player? Because is a really good 3-and-D player, but he never became the guy that the Lakers hoped for, and he's probably not going to end up being. He ended up not being the guy the Pelicans thought they were going to get, and we'll see this offseason what happens to him, whether he gets traded or not. But like the injuries are really like, at first it was his play style more than anything. Like he just couldn't shoot, and he didn't have that. He wasn't able to get to the line and finish, which he still isn't able to do. But now I think the injuries are catching up to him, and it sucks to see because, bro, I was a Lonzo Ball truther. Like I thought he was the one, dog.
I still am, man. I still am.
He's still good. Like
he's still good to me.
If his knee isn't bummed out, he's still a very good player. Not number 2 pick, but
that's the concern with him right now. It's like
that is
half the season he was hurt, and we were supposed to get him back in February, March, but then he failed his physical and MRI again, and now it's kind of like that concern of like, is he ever going to?
And the Bulls paid him all that money to sit down.
I feel like it's too early for Lonzo Ball to be a wonder kid, so to say.
Like a failed one.
Yeah, I think it's too early to say. I need 2 more years of injury-riddled seasons, and then we can start having them talks. But when he's played, he's been
really good. He's been really good.
Hey, let's hope we get him back, man. I hope I'm wrong, because that means we get a shot and y'all are in trouble.
Now, my thing is, bro, I think if he would have stayed healthy, y'all season would have looked a whole lot different, man.
Agreed.
Like, I agree with Gage. I think situation played a big part with his development. I mean, the Lakers, they traded away all their young guys. And, I mean, to me, he's the best out that group. I think he's better than Julius Randle. He's mid to me. Jordan Clark.
He's not better than Julius.
I forgot about Ingram. He's not better than BI, but he's better than Randall's mid. I'd rather have
mids, but he ain't better than
I'd rather have pause. I'd rather have Lonzo on my team because, bro, he gives you great passing. He gives you good ass defense. He gives you a 3.
But he's an
ideal player.
But he is
don't get me wrong. He's a role player, but he's the ideal role player, in my opinion.
This the same conversation as Clay.
No, we're not having this today.
Hey, that's not the conversation.
It's the same conversation as Clay.
Oh, you're trying to stir shit up in here.
But I don't think that's fair to Julius, because I think you just hate how Julius played. Julius is actually has been one of the better NBA players this time he's been in the league.
Oh.
Bro, he's a walking 18-10.
Oh, how many guys so is Christian Wood. What are we doing?
Christian Wood's only done it for like 2 years.
How many years did Julius Randle?
2 or 3?
Julius Randle's done
it about 4.
Julius Randle's done it probably his whole career, minus his first year at the Lakers.
Hold on, let's check our good friend basketball reference.
4-year streak.
That's you're gassing it now, man.
He only played 1 game his rookie year, right? So his second year is really his rookie year. He averaged 11 and 10. The next year after that, 13-9. The next year after that, 16-8. The next year after that, 21-9, 20-10, and then 25-10-6, and then now 20-10-5.
I feel like you can't argue with that. You're right.
He's mid. At the end of the day, I closed my eyes. Julius Randle's a mid player, man.
BI is still better.
BI is much better.
But let's move on to another one of our picks. Gage, you ready?
Yeah. I've got an interesting one here. I'm gonna go with the namesake of the famous Sheck West song, Mo Bamba. I think Mo Bamba had a lot of hype coming in. I don't know if it was just because of the song. I definitely don't think so because, he was at UT and was playing really well. So I think we could consider him a wonder kid. He hasn't had the impact that I thought he was going to have. He had a good season last year and he could kind of escape this conversation if he had played a little bit better the years before. But I think he should definitely be in this conversation.
To me, bro, I feel like we said about Lonzo, Orlando did not use him right. They did not know how to use him. I think they completely fumbled his development. You take him to a real team like Houston, give him up to us. I think if you, I bet you put him on Detroit. You put him on Detroit with Cade Cunningham or somebody like that, bro. Give him a real. That's what I'm saying. Give him a real point guard. Give him a real team that can develop him. He's good, man. He can shoot. He gives you great rim protection to me. Maybe I overrate him a little bit, but I still think that there's something there, man. Orlando fumbled him badly. But Ethan, you were gonna say something?
I won't say he's a bust either, bro, because you gotta realize that when you start playing with Cole Anthony, his numbers went up. Everything went up.
Yeah. Again, another situation.
Bro,
another situation.
My whole thing is like, did Mo Bamba really have the hype to be deserved? Because he was a good prospect.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't consider him a wonder kid because I don't necessarily think he had the hype to be like. If he had the hype of Ayton, then I would say yes.
Well, what pick was he? He was like a top 6 pick, I think.
He was number 6, but I still don't like.
He was always a project. He was always a project.
But nobody thought of Bamba as being like the next big thing, if that makes sense.
Outside of the song was really the only hype. And to be honest with you, there have been sucky
that's
guys.
the most hype about him.
Yeah, there'd be horrible players who have songs named after them, but they're mentioned in songs. Let's not forget that. Like, he's not the only one that got hyped because we got like, it's like our whole white boy of the month thing. Like, we get hyped and excited about something.
But man, with him, it was a game this past season. He was giving Joel Embiid the work, man. Gave him about 30. And that game showed me he has it in him, man. He could do this. Just send him to a serious franchise. Send him to a place that wants to play him. He's been on and off the bench every year, man. He hasn't had a defined role to me. So please bring him to Houston. We'll show him.
Rockets, man.
Orlando has had a lot of big men too. Like that's been a problem with the rotation because before they had Valanciunas, or not Valanciunas, Vucevic. Yeah, Vuce. Get those guys mixed up. You got Vuce. You've got Mo Bamba. I think there was
Jonathan
Isaac. Like you guys
still there.
Yeah, who's still there?
The Magic turning into the 76ers from 5 years ago. They got
you're not wrong.
That's not a bad take. I think they're banking on one of them being the guy. You know what I'm saying?
And, like, their whole team is young. Like,
yeah,
it's horrible.
It's going to be interesting to see too because with the draft coming up, they've got a top 3 pick. If I'm not mistaken, they got the first pick. So like, what do you do with that? I mean, obviously, you're going to pick a player, but what do you do with all the other young pieces that you thought were going to be
horrible? That they wasn't really high in the draft order to get a star player.
Nah, they was always in the lottery. They was always in the high end of the lottery.
Lottery, cool. They was in the top 1, 2, or 3 picks every year.
They were always top 5 every year.
They was always like top 8. Like if you think we're Jonathan Isaac was a top 10 pick.
Cole Anthony, what pick
Cole
was
Anthony
he?
was in top 10. He was
13. He was about 13.
He was late lottery.
Trust me.
Like none of the players they drafted were game changers.
Yeah, and
that's fair. I forget they were in the playoff. They were in the playoff race a few years ago. Like I'm acting like they were just punts. They were in the playoffs. So
2 years ago, yes, with Vooch. They lost first round, but hey.
Yeah, no, but
it's a problem for them though because I feel like you've got young players, but like we saw how they gave up on a player too early, like Victor Oladipo, who ended up being really good after he left Orlando. So you're kind of stuck in that situation where like we don't want that to happen to us again. So you let Mo Bamba walk in free agency and then he becomes a superstar, then I'm looking back at this video and calling myself an idiot, you know?
Yeah.
I think they're betting on what's it called? They're betting on Jonathan Isaac coming back being healthy. They're betting on what's his name? Wendell Carter. They're betting on this third pick.
Bulls.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can we stop talking about us?
But I'm not mad. But I'm not mad at the Mo Bamba pick because I think I'm in the boat with Jaysen. Is that I don't really see. I wouldn't classify him as like a wonder kid or like a prodigy because I don't really saw him like as that coming in. But I'm not mad at that being the pick. So we've done X, Gage. We'll go with the big stepper. We'll go with the big stepper, man. Who you got?
Interesting. I could go Zion, but really,
do it. Do Zion. Let's talk about him. Do Zion.
I think it's just too early for Zion, man. I'm going with Mr. Fucked Up Shot himself, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, man.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was cold, dog. I can't even lie.
He was good. He was
Hey,
good.
he was
Broken
that
ass
guy,
jumper.
man. Him and AD. That was a serious debate.
When?
He went top 2, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he was number 2.
MJ was out his mind with that jumper.
Drugs.
Hell no.
Drugs.
That thing was disgusting. Ooh, it was so bad.
Hey, he was out his mind.
What do y'all say? Musket? He shot like a
Hey,
musket.
a musket.
Nah, that ain't no musket. That's like a.
That's a cannon.
Hey, does anyone want to guess what his what's the most points he scored in a season?
In a
I
game?
want to say like 8.
Like
9,
his
right?
average. I guess his highest average in a season.
Oh.
I think it's about. I'm gonna say like 17.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna-
9.
Way less.
I'm gonna go 7.5.
11.7.
Jalen's the closest. He scored 12.7, his highest season.
Oh. Maybe I overrate him. I thought he
And
was
for a
solid.
player who got picked number 2, I mean, you know,
He was in
we
the
kind
same
of go back
draft
to
as like the
AD,
draft.
Bradley Beal, Waiters, Lillard, Harrison Barnes, Ross, and Drummond.
Oh yeah, they missed
Yeah.
on that. They missed on him.
Is he out the? He's out the league now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, his last name was with the Mavericks, man. It was bad. It got very, very ugly.
But I mean,
Hey, hear me out. Only thing he could really do was play solid D. He was a great defender. He just didn't offer you nothing on the offensive side.
Yeah.
He tried to shoot the 3 ball, but it just kept getting worse. It was an
Not
ugly
doing
shot.
nothing with that.
Nah.
so then to tie this back with one of our earlier examples, we talked about Lonzo Ball, the number 2 pick. I think this is a little bit more of a situation where, like, he ended up not being nowhere near as good as Lonzo Ball, in my opinion. Because I think Lonzo still has the potential to be a very good player as long as he can stay healthy. So would we consider him more of a failure as a wonder kid? Was the hype as big for him as it was for Lonzo? I don't think so.
I don't remember there
definitely-
being any hype about
It
him.
was him or AD
He's
as
also
your, as your
kids.
top pick.
Yeah.
He was also kids though, so I can't remember hype about Kid Gilchrist. But I'm pretty sure there was hype if he went
2.
top 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he was like that guy. Like I remember like hearing about him from my dad and his friends. They were like talking about him like he was the truth, and that's sad too because you kind of think about it like they really were idolizing a man that shot like that. Like
What college did he even go to, man? I don't even know what
He
college.
played with
he
AD
went
in
to.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Oh, he went to Kentucky.
With
Yeah.
AD, they both came out.
So yeah, the 2 Kentucky players back to back.
Yes,
In that
like
draft.
that's when they. I think that's when they won a chip too that year. And AD was playing with the national team. I don't think Gilchrist played with them, but he was up there and like talked about players in that draft.
Nah, that's not a bad pick. So D Glass, man, who you got up next?
I have Jimmer Fredette, man.
Our first
The
white
Shanghai
boy.
Sharks, man.
The first white boy on the list, man. See, he was touted to be the next Stephen Curry. He was a junior, his junior year of college. I'm pretty sure senior year, he averaged 28 points, man. That's not an easy thing to do in college. He came into the league. I mean, he was a 10th overall pick. Oh, he was undersized, around a 6'2" guard. Never really had the athleticism, but his shooting, bro, he was a scorer. He can get you a bucket. So, I mean, And when you have the comparison to Stephen Curry, boy, you're not supposed to fail like that. He just can never get it in the league. It was Sacramento, I believe he played with Sacramento.
He got drafted by them.
He got drafted by Sacramento there for a few years. He just couldn't get it. Went to China, and he kills it in China, man. He's dropping like 50 balls every game. Goes back to the league, I'm pretty sure. Couldn't get it going. And my thing is, I just never really understood why he didn't pan out. I mean, you have the jumper. I don't know.
Like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. But to me, if y'all remember the videos, bro, like Jimmer Fredette was very hyped up, man. He was him, but it just
college. He's one of those. He's one of those college players, bro. Like you know the college dudes that are tough in college, but they don't pan out in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's different when you got some athletes picking you up at half court and you can't get your jumper off no more.
To be fair,
he can't go by nobody.
No,
I
I feel like Buddy Hield was the only one that actually somewhat pan out.
of that type of player,
Yes.
I would agree.
Well,
So, like that 2 guard, like that can catch a shoot.
Just straight shooting in college.
Yeah, but
other than Trey Young.
I agree with
Trae Young was
Jaysen.
like that.
I agree with Jaysen, bro. Jimmer was 6'2". Buddy's a what, like 6'6"?
But Buddy's 6'6". Like he's a 2 guard. Like Jimmer Fredette was a 2 guard in a 6'2" body. That he wasn't lasting in the NBA with that.
to be fair, I mean,
Not Curry.
we talk about Steph Curry, and
Curry's
it was
one
a
of
very
one.
yeah, Curry is one of one, but I see kind of where Sacramento was going with this. They were like, okay, we want to go with a guy who can really shoot the ball. He might be a little undersized, went to a smaller school at BYU, just like Curry went to Davidson. So I kind of see why they would go with the pick, but I feel like they were trying to make up for missing out on Steph Curry the year prior, or I guess a couple years prior. But yeah, I think Jimmer is a great example. He was really hyped up. Yeah.
No, David, that's a really good one. So Jaysen
That's
Collins.
just bad scouting.
No, I agree. I think he could have felt in that JJ Redick role. I think they just wanted him to be too much of a scorer. I think that's what they really wanted him to do. And honestly, I think that was his play style too. I just don't think he could have adapted to like just settle down to be like, man, I'm just gonna be what is it, a hard nosed vet. just do straight 3 and D for 30 minutes a game. I don't think his play style allowed him for that.
And
but
you say he got drafted to Sacramento, right? Let's be real here. They haven't developed nobody.
Oh, I don't know about that. Darren Fox is pretty good.
Yeah, but De'Aaron Fox.
That's all D Fox.
That-
That ain't nothing.
That's not them.
That's all D Fox.
Them would be if he suddenly gets a jumper next year. Then I will put that on them.
Y'all saying Darren Fox is an anomaly? He's the only one.
Kind of is.
Him and Boogie are the anomalies.
Yeah, Boogie was really good.
So let me ask y'all about one of these guys. Since we're still on the topic of the Kings, and I want to hear Jason's next, but let me ask y'all about Marvin Bagley. How does he fall in this conversation? Because obviously he was in the draft class with Luka and Trae Young, and there's always going to be that conversation about how they messed up not picking one of those guys. Does Marvin Bagley fall under the category of a failed wonder kid?
I think
I don't blame him at all. I blame the franchise.
But now he has a real point guard, so I give him another year and a half, 2 years.
He's still mid to me, man. I watched a lot of the Pistons.
He's a free agent right now, still.
They're gonna re-sign him, bro. Pistons gonna get him back, but like my thing is I think it's the saying hindsight. Like hindsight, he was really good in college, man. It's just unfortunate for him. You just had to be in the draft.
Yeah.
With Luka and Trae Young, and I'm pretty sure Shea was
Jared Jackson.
You had all them dudes in your class. It's just unfortunate, man.
Hey, Dev, later on when we make it back around to me, I'm gonna have a name that's gonna blow y'all's mind. All right, because the guy I'm thinking of, he fell into the similar trap. But Jaysen Collins, who you got next?
Kwame Brown.
Wow.
His hands are too small. He can't play.
Hey, y'all
Kwame Brown.
Y'all know who his cousin is, man? Y'all know who his cousin is?
Nah.
Jabari Smith, baby. I'm dead ass.
That's a red flag.
Not good.
No. Why you proud of that?
Bad things to come.
I'm
man.
dead ass. His cousin is Jabari, man.
Kwame Brown, bro, he did not pan out. Like he was number 1 pick in the draft, came straight out of high school, man. It didn't look good for him. He knew Michael Jordan was gonna push him, and it got to the point where Michael Jordan was bullying him, and he couldn't focus. Plus, he was getting injured often. It wasn't good for him.
I feel that was just a bad draft pick because I don't think Kwame Brown was that bad of a player. I just think it was just he should have never went there. he should have never went to Washington.
not.
But you think about that draft, like who were the top three in that draft? It was him. It was Eddie Curry,
Tyson Chandler, Paul
and Tyson
Gasol.
Chandler. It was him. No, but I'm talking about the three number one like hyped up was him, Eddie Curry, and Tyson Chandler. And other than Tyson Chandler, him and Eddie Curry kind of had the same thing that they really couldn't get over like off the court stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Eddie Curry for different reasons, but for him, it was just the wrong fit. Like he didn't mesh well with Jordan and that team, and I don't think he honestly was ready for the NBA. I honestly think things would have turned out different for Kwame if he would have went to college, played college basketball.
But you look at this draft, and that's a good point. That like, he wasn't. That's the thing about the draft is you never really know who's gonna pan out because there were some really good players in this draft, but they weren't picked till later. I mean, you got ISO Joe being picked at number 10 by the Celtics.
A lot of good players.
Zach Randolph, Tony Parker. I know. You got Gilbert Arenas too.
But all those guys went to the right situation for the most part. Like,
no, hear me out now.
Like
Gilbert
Zach Randolph went to the right situation. Tony Parker went to the right situation. Like Joe Johnson became Joe Johnson when he went to Atlanta. Like don't get me wrong, he wasn't in the right situation at Boston. He became him when he went to Atlanta.
I don't even think Boston. I think Boston traded him. I think before he even played a game in Boston, right?
I don't know about that. I think he played.
Oh no, I think he did play in Boston.
I think he played a game.
Y'all can't say Gilbert Arenas fell only because of off the field or off the court.
No, yeah.
So like, let's be real here. He could have been the number one pick.
Gilbert Arenas was cold. He was just the reason why he wasn't drafted so high was because of the whole stuff that happened. Shit, Final Four stuff with him and Richard Jefferson. But
That's true.
Jason, that's a good pick. Kwame Brown, I think, because he encapsulates it. Because I don't consider him a bust necessarily because of his skill, even though I don't think he was like worthy of a number one overall pick, like in hindsight, because it's 2020. But a lot of it doesn't have to do with his fault. Like there's also outside factors like him being picked to Washington that impacted.
Yeah, like injuries killed him. Once he got healthy, he just wasn't good. So that didn't help. That he wasn't good at all.
Yeah. All right.
Finally, we got Chris Olave's burner. Mr. Jalen.
Who you got for us?
Tyreek Evans.
Tyreek Evans was him,
Mr. Weed Man himself.
hey, rookie of the year. Hey, thing is
over he was in the
over Harden,
Steph,
yeah.
Blake Griffin. I don't know how you got over Blake Griffin that year.
Blake Griffin didn't play that year, I don't think, did he?
Oh, he was hurt. You're right.
Yeah, he was hurt. Yeah.
Thing about him is they stopped playing him at the point, if I remember correctly, and like
he was playing point guard.
Yeah,
and they stopped playing him there. Like nigga, put the ball back in his hands, man.
Let him cook.
Yeah, what? hey, you don't win rookie of the year over Curry, Harden. Like them niggas are MVPs.
Curry was
Hall of
hurt.
Famers.
Let's be real.
3 Hall of
Some
Famers.
was hurt. Some was up.
Yeah. No, but Jalen Tyreek.
Guess where he was at, man?
Sacramento.
Yeah, bro. That's
Hey,
crazy.
Jason, I'm sensing a theme here. I'm sensing a theme.
He was good, man. It's just the weed ruined it for him. My boy got kicked out the league, man.
It's also Sacramento giving up on him too early. I mean, not being able to develop him too, because I mean, he averaged 20 points his rookie season, and then from there in Sacramento, he didn't average less than 15. That wasn't.
He was cold in Indiana.
It was a steady drop off every year though.
Yeah.
Every year his stats got worse.
I think
Even
the
though they weren't
development
bad
has to do
stats.
with that.
Yeah, they weren't bad stats, but every year his stats got worse. So
yeah, no, Tyreek Evans is a good one. And now that we've gone a full way around, we're kind of just gonna do just lightning answers. Jalen, to piggyback your Tyreek Evans one, who I think is probably the biggest like failed wonder kid of like who he could have been, was Hashim Tebet. He was the forward from
that sounds very familiar.
Hey, Jalen, look in that draft. Look who was drafted second overall. And he was drafted second overall in the Blake Griffin, Steph Curry, James Harden, Tyreek Evans.
Nigga.
He was cold at UConn. Cold.
Hey, he hoodwinked everybody. That's crazy.
Bro, he
fooled everybody.
Bro,
he was bad.
That's not he was bad.
He was bad. No, it was his fault, man.
He was shitty.
He played 68 games his rookie season and averaged 3 points.
His career average points is 2.2.
But
Like-
I think he was a bust.
He played how many years in the league? Like 8. No, Travis. The thing I'm saying is the hype was real with him, Travis. He was cold in college,
He
bro.
was
I think he played 7 seasons. His last season was in OKC in 2013-14.
Bro, he could do it all, bro. Back to the basket. He had a solid midi, bro. He was a monster on defense. Hashim Tibet is a failed wonder kid, man. He could have been the one.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch those highlights, man. Because I remember getting like my friends roasted. We used to play with the worst players on 2K. We were kids, and I remember using him, and I was cooking, and I was like, I don't know how this is working.
Bro, he used to be nice, bro. UConn had a bunch of those guys that were like him. Another one too, Shabazz Napier, man. He was Kemba Walker's clone. He was Kemba Walker's clone.
Hey, what?
Shabazz Napier, man. Oh, he was so nice. I remember that national championship he had where they beat Florida, and who else they beat? They beat Julius Randle's Kentucky in the final. Oh, he was nice.
Wait, you think he was a failed wonder kid?
Shabazz Napier?
He didn't even go top 20.
Nah, but he was nice. Shabazz Napier was nice.
Okay,
who
so
did he get drafted by? He got drafted by Miami, right?
I forgot who he got
I
drafted.
think so.
It was Miami, and
I
they
think
ended
it
up in
was
Portland.
Miami.
And they ended up in Portland.
He was all right in Portland.
Hey, I got a
Yeah,
question.
he was good, but he wasn't no failed wonder kid.
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Can I select a whole draft class?
Why not, Travis?
class?
Hey,
I didn't know
other
what
than
class he was
Joel
gonna say.
Embiid, the 2014 draft class are all just
Hold
in.
up.
You got Anthony Wiggins. Jabari Parker was the truth to me, man.
I was about to say
He
Jabari
was
Parker.
good.
I think
Oh
it's
my
just unfortunate for him, man. Injuries.
Bro, Eric Gordon. Come on, dog. Marcus
Eric-
Smart. Like,
That's why it's good.
That's-
Yeah.
what are you
Julius
talking about?
Randle.
Travis,
said
Travis,
that.
Travis, you hating on this
are
draft.
on his
Travis,
knees, bro. He is
How-
not that guy.
how am I on his
Zach-
meet? Julius Randle is cold.
Zach Levine was in that
Zach
class.
Levine.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, hey,
Nurkic-
hear me out,
Nurkic was in that
Oh
class.
yeah, Travis, you missed on this.
Dante Exum.
Jokic is in that
Clint
Anderson.
Capella,
Oh my
Clint
God,
Capella,
Levine,
bro,
Drew.
Trav, you missed. Clint Capella's in here.
This
Bogdan's
is a solid.
in there.
This is a solid draft.
Kyle Anderson's in here, but they still got some
Jeremy
players
Grant.
in
Then
here.
Whitty, Jeremy. Yeah, Travis. What'd you
Jeremy
say?
Grant, yeah, you
Hey, Travis.
missed.
You missed.
Yo,
Back outside.
Hey, Travis, what'd you say that there ain't no bad bitches in this
Man,
draft?
Travis, you missed,
Hey,
nigga.
and we got Corey Jefferson, man.
Hey, Travis, say it. Travis, say it.
Superstars.
Hey, Travis, say it again. There was no bad bitches in this draft.
At all, dog.
Trav,
No,
you
no,
missed.
No
But
one
this-
saw.
I do-
I'm talking about coming out. No one saw Jokic being good. Come on, let's be real.
Travis,
Hey,
I do
Travis,
wanna
you missed
piggyback
on this
you.
draft. You missed.
Travis.
This draft was nice, nigga.
You missed,
Just
Travis.
made the
You missed.
MVP.
Yeah,
You
but
need
I
the
do
best
wanna
player in the
piggyback.
draft.
I'm gonna
And
piggyback
you're
on what
also
Travis
missing-
said though. Like,
Okay, Jokic and freaking Embiid. Come
Bro,
on now.
Travis, but
Jokic,
you're
bro,
smaller players.
Levine.
Who are stars? Zach Levine is not a star.
He's
Yeah,
an all-star.
He's
He's
not
an all-star.
He's an all-star.
Who?
He's
He can't
a-
carry
oh.
the
Hey,
team.
Travis, I need to check your
Hey,
desk.
if he was on the Mavs, you'd be creaming.
You need a superstar.
He'll
That's
be a third option.
If he was on the
But-
Mavs, you'd
but
be
Travis-
creaming.
He'd be a third option behind Jalen Brunson.
But Travis.
Oh,
we
hell
can't
no.
let-
Oh, hell no.
Travis.
Oh, hell
Come
no.
on,
New
Travis.
York.
Let it go,
Zach
man.
Levine coming out was supposed to be like that.
All right.
No, he wasn't.
Let's
Oh,
see.
he
he was
wasn't.
on top 10.
Hey, how do you delete someone else's tweets?
He was a
Like-
straight dunker.
Man, bro, he was just a dunker back then, man. That's all he could do.
All this whole draft class didn't produce one top 15 player in the league.
Jokic,
What are you talking about? What are you
saying?
Joel Embiid.
Embiid? What are you talking about?
Okay, I had to mute Travis. Let's.
You're done.
All right, hey, I'm gonna say this though. Can I piggyback off something he said though?
Yeah, go for it.
Jabari Parker was compared to Carmelo Anthony when he was coming out of college.
My
And-
uncle put me on.
Yeah, yeah.
He
He
could
was
never
supposed to
shoot
be
like
him. It
Carmelo.
was
Jabari Parker,
unfortunate.
I
It
had
was
my
just
money on
unfortunate,
him.
man.
I thought he was gonna be the next one
He
up.
was good. It's just
Jabari Parker
his
was cold.
ACLs got taken out, and the rest is history,
both,
man.
both of them back to back.
Hey,
He had a good rookie year.
Hey,
Wiggins
him,
is a good player. I mean, like
Wiggins-
Trav.
Wiggins-
I don't-
Wiggins
I
is
don't
a
know
good
what
player,
you're getting at,
dog.
man.
Wiggins might be an example of a failed wonder kid because he's not necessarily a bust, but
Well, he's not a bust, but
nigga's
Jason,
supposed
they
to
were
be
calling him
Bean.
Maple Jordan, man.
He was supposed to be Bean.
he's
That's
supposed to be mean.
That's
Hey,
not
he-
his
hey,
fault, though.
He
You know
was
what I'm
cold
saying?
at
We got
Kansas,
beat.
man. He was
What you mean it's not
good
his
at
fault?
Kansas.
He don't care about basketball.
Travis,
think-
I-
hey,
no.
Travis, how you know? You friends with him?
I think it's
Bro,
50-50.
Look how
I
he
think
was
it's
playing
50-50.
Minnesota, bro. What are we doing here?
Hey, they
He's
said
just
his
not-
work.
he's just
Hey,
not
they
a number
just
one
say
option, and that's okay.
they said his
I-
work ethic was shit, man. So
He
I
is
get
a
where
third
Travis
option.
coming from.
Yeah.
But then again, you're in Minnesota, man. So,
But-
I
Oh,
think
so wait, Travis, you just said he a third option, and you said Levine a third option.
Like, bro,
No.
Wiggins hasn't averaged
No.
less than 17 a year in his career, man. That's not no
Yeah,
field
but-
wonder
Is
kid.
17
But Jaysen, he's the
winning
number
a
one
chip?
pick.
But he's the
too.
number. But he was.
what
supposed
the
to
hell
be-
is Jalen Brunson doing, nigga?
Why are we talking about Jalen?
Okay. Okay.
Hey, he going to New York.
Kyrie Irving.
He going to
Hey,
New
You
York.
said what?
What did you say?
This year in the playoffs, Jalen Brunson.
Preach!
JB,
Preach!
more
Preach!
points than
Preach,
Kyrie
Travis!
Irving.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
Trav.
Travis,
He was in the
Travis.
play. He was 3 rounds, of
Travis, I got a question.
course.
He's going to
What
New
you mean,
York.
Is Kyrie Irving?
Who had more
Is
points,
Jalen
Kyrie
Brunson
Irving
better
or
than
JB?
Kyrie Irving?
Yes!
He's
Trav.
going to New
Hey,
York.
tell your boy to stop doing Ramadan and eat. Hey,
This
not my
nigga
fault.
sick as
Trav, would you
fuck.
rather have Jalen Brunson or Kyrie?
I know JB gonna play all 82.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
He's spitting.
all right, moving on.
This nigga spitting.
Hey,
This
mute
nigga
him. Hey,
spitting.
mute him.
Okay. Hold on. So,
All right, let's move on to some more Wonder Kids, man.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up.
we gotta. Yeah, we got we got a little distracted with that draft class comment, but I mean, I kind of want to go back to Wiggins because I think Wiggins is like an interesting example where like injuries didn't throw him off, and we've seen a guy succeed in Minnesota as a high pick in Karl Anthony Towns. So I think it's fair to put Wiggins in that conversation, but I'm interested to hear what y'all have to say about these two guys, and I'm gonna have Xavier present one of them, but I'll start with Sean Livingston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knee
I mean,
injuries.
his knee injury
And that
was
because he was bad.
catastrophic.
Yeah.
He had a terrible knee injury.
Hey, he contributed to some rings though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's,
Hey, he was the best
wonder kid.
Best
because he's
mid-range
bad.
shooter ever.
He is a failed wonder kid, but he is also like
I just
for
said
first-
not because of injuries.
not because of injury. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
not because of him being bad. He's a failed wonder kid because of injuries.
Agreed. Because honestly, that early stretch of the Golden State like years, he was the best backup point guard in the league, in my opinion.
What? Who you saying?
Like I've never seen his mid range shot where he knock his neck back. I have never seen him miss one in my life.
Bro, it doesn't.
Hey, daggers. Yeah,
He was giving us dick. Oh my god.
Hey, Dave, how much dick? 10-inch?
Oh, he was giving us 10 inches. Man.
He might have gave y'all 13. Like,
There's nothing you can do to stop him, man. He was
making a minimum of 4 of those in a row every
Man.
game.
Hey, that little turnaround, he would dribble up to the elbow, do a little fade.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Hey, but I mean, even then, again, we forget Sean Livingston was the number 4 pick in that draft. And I mean, there weren't many years. I mean, there wasn't even a year where he averaged more than 10 points. As the number 4 pick, I think you got to expect a little bit more out of him. Even with the injuries, like before his injury, he wasn't averaging very many points. His assist numbers were all right. So I think you could definitely put him in this conversation. Let's talk about a guy who really didn't have any control over his situation. Xavier, do you want to present him? Because I know it might hit a little close to home for you.
All right, let me tell y'all a little story. When I was a kid, I bought every pair of shoes this man put out once he signed with Adidas. I hurt my knee
You
the same
bet
year
not
he got
say.
hurt.
You bet not.
I hurt my knee the same year he got hurt.
and that was your
my
downfall.
And my teammates started nicknaming me. Guess what the nickname was? D-Rose.
D-Rose.
Damn. Oh man.
That was your downfall. They were buying them trash ass Adidas. You should have
Hey,
known that.
it
You
did,
should've
man.
known
Hey, hey, can you tell D-Rose to do this now?
He can
Yes
do
or
it
no?
better than you can.
hey. What?
Hey Travis.
Still in the league.
Hey Travis, me and you both had knee injuries. I don't know why we're talking about someone having another one. Like,
Hey, we can say it.
no, but D Rose, man, people forget one of the youngest MVPs in NBA history. He was that guy for the Bulls. He was our chosen one. We were ready to put a statue of him next to Michael Jordan. Like, that's how hyped we all were. And then
MJ.
And then what happened? Hey, I would have been on that boat if you asked like 14-year-old me or 10-year-old me. And then what happened? That knee, man.
X, can I ask you a question?
What?
Is he even better than John Morant? Is
Hey,
he?
hey, keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Is he even better than John Morant? Let's
Yes,
it's not even close.
Yes.
Does John Moran have an MVP?
No. But back then he would have.
No.
There's your answer.
Hey, see, that's another thing about playing in different eras because Derrick Rose was Ja Morant's putting up better. He's putting up better averages, but this is because of the speed of the game. Now they're shooting more 3-pointers. You know, they're getting
Gage.
Hey, he would have
quicker
Team is better
possessions.
without him.
He would have gave
He's
them
not
dick, man.
good.
He would have gave them dick. It would have been crazy.
Hey,
I think Derrick Rose is better than Ja Morant, but
I do too, man.
Yeah,
And also,
Derrick Rose averaged 25 in the dead ball era. Ja's averaging
Exactly.
28 right now.
exactly.
Derrick Rose averaged 30.
Y'all like to act
Facts.
like these new guys came up with their own play styles. Ja Morant is just Derrick Rose 2.0.
No, he's Russ.
He's a combo of both of them.
My thing is like the
Hey,
reason
my
he's not
nigga can
Russ.
shoot.
The reason he's not Russ is because I love Russ, but Russ is a
Ja.
stat pattern.
Ja cannot shoot.
Yes, he can.
Don't let that one game fool y'all, man.
I'll say Derrick Rose and
He's
Ja
an
Morant.
average 31% 3-point shooter. What are we doing here?
Ja get you going for some reason, man. What you got against him?
Look at him.
Travis don't like black people.
Oh my god!
Travis don't.
Bro,
This nigga
bro,
said,
bro.
look at him.
Bro,
The reason
his
Travis
team
don't like him
moves
is
better
because
without him.
Nah,
Because he
damn.
was hooping better than Luka
Yeah,
this year. That's the
yeah,
only
but-
reason.
Hey,
That's
I'm
why.
with Trav though.
Time out. Which superstar you know, if they leave that squad, is winning 25 in 3 games?
Bro, Trav, that just
Ja
means the
Morant's not a
team is
superstar.
built perfect, man.
So that
Ja
team
Morant's
is
not a
good without
superstar.
him.
That sounds like it's more of a problem about
They
Mark
won more
Cuban.
games without him than with him.
Okay.
All
All right.
let's go.
All right. Hey, this
All right.
is the perfect time to wrap this shit up, man. Oh my god. Well, I thought this was it was a different episode this week. You know what I mean? And I'm happy with the way it turned out. So, hey, thank you, boys.
Hey, shout out to OJ Mayo.
Hey, yeah, shout out to OJ
And
Mayo.
Brandon Jennings.
Michael Beasley. Sorry, I had like a brain like. Michael
He was supposed to be the
nice.
truth, man.
It was your favorite player's favorite player, man. Michael Beasley, man. He's the truth.
Good thing
But-
2.0 is about to be a rocket, man. Michael Beasley 2.0 is about to be a rocket.
Oh God.
Hey, y'all gonna be sick of me.
Hey.
All
So,
right.
what you
Well,
say?
Huh?
What you say?
That's all, folks.
all right, guys. Well, thank y'all for watching another episode of Are We Recording for the Shanghai Sharks. I mean, the Are We Recording crew. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Sleddy.
It's blooming.
Hey, is this thing on?